Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Ebony Collectives. So let's get right into it. This whole Cardi B situation with her being pregnant by Stephon Diggs while she's still a married woman has got people talking, and it had the internet talking a few weeks ago. I wanted to let it die down a bit, but there was something key that I wanted to take away from that. So by all means, let me just let you know, disclaimer alert, that this is not necessarily about Cardi B per se, but it's about the lessons that we can learn from this situation, because this is a common situation. Just not necessarily the fact that you might be married to someone else, that's not common, but common in the sense that women will meet someone, the feelings are there, or they think they're in love with that person, or even just like that person. The next minute, they're pregnant by this man who is showing typical red flags, and who I would say is a walk-in red flag. So this video is aimed at just reminding my ladies, my ebonies, my queens, that this is not the route to go down, and you need to hold yourself to a higher standard so that you can attract better men. And the first thing that I want to say on that topic is Stephon Diggs is like a walking red flag. Anybody that can see the snippets that we've seen all over social media, I mean, all you have to do is YouTube him, put his name in YouTube, and you'll see things that come up about him in relation to him having multiple women who have his children, multiple times where you'll see him out partying, doing God knows what. I mean, he's a walking red flag. And I say this to say to my ladies that these are the signs that you should not bypass. These are behaviors in men that you shouldn't look over. You shouldn't think that because it's just a now and then moment that, oh no, they're okay, and continue to give them your time and energy. I can honestly say that by doing that, you are putting yourselves in harm's way. You are putting yourself in a situation where potentially you get drawn into their behaviors, where you start to pick up on those behaviors, on those traits, and start to become and mimic their behaviors. Or number two, you end up in a situation like this where you're reckless and you end up becoming pregnant. And I know that this can trigger some people, and I don't want it to trigger people because I am not perfect and I've been in similar situations. But at the same time, we've all been young. Yes, we have. But at what point are we going to take accountability and actually say to ourselves that you want better for yourself? You want a better life for yourself. You want better experience for yourself. By giving your time and energy to someone like him can result in pregnancies, can result in you no longer really having the power per se, because now you have a child in the mix, and a child that most likely is going to be spending majority of their time being cared for by you, whilst the man gets to go out, gallivant, party, do what he wants, meet other women, engage in new relationships with new women, which is only going to upset you. You're going to be battling for his time because he wants to give his attention to these new women that he has on his arm, as well as having to give his time to the children that he's already created before your own child. There's so many layers to this. There's so many bad things that I can go into in terms of this topic. And I think that whilst, yes, you're trying to get over someone, possibly, there is no reason to give yourself to a walking red flag. Someone like him should just stay as fun. And even that, I don't even condone. Me, myself, I would never now, now that I know what I know as a woman in her late 30s, I would never give myself to someone like him. It's just a waste of time. And it only comes with more hurt, more trauma, more resentment. You're increasing your chances of depression, low mood, frustration. Why would you put that on yourself? Why would you do that to yourself just for a bit of fun? And I see this happen a lot because there are women who, you've ended up having a child or children with men or multiple men, and then somehow you end up losing yourself and you become so entwined in what this man is doing, and you give him multiple chances, even though he's showing you so many times that he is not the one for you. He was not even right for you. But because of the sake of maybe the children, or for the sake of your own image, you want to put up that display and that facade that, yes, this person is the one, or this person is, for you, so to speak. But this person potentially is basically You were giving them the power to embarrass you. You're giving them the power to really bring your brand, bring your name down. And just because you're not a celebrity doesn't mean that you're not a brand. And I want people to understand that. I want my ebonies to understand that. Yes, you are a brand in yourself. You are a walking brand. You are a brand to the people that are close to you, to your friends, to your family, even to yourself. You are a brand. And what does that mean? That means that you have to be very selective and very intentional about the people that you choose to have around you. If you choose to have people around you who potentially can tarnish your name, eventually a situation will arise where that very thing will happen. The same way, if you are intentional, and when I say intentional, I mean that you are the person who selects who can be in your circle, who can be close to you, then that means, and if they are good people, then you are likely to pick up on their behaviors and they're likely to mirror your behaviors, but it's positive. There could only be positive, hopefully, things that come out of it. And I want my Black women to understand this because it's something that I feel that I see so many Black women who are successful in their own name, are successful in their own right, even without a man. So you have to be even more intentional about the man that you choose to come into your life. Because once you become pregnant and decide to continue with that pregnancy, you are now associating yourself with that person. When people see you, they see him. When people see you, they think of him. If that man is not around, they think of that when they see you. If that man is around, but he's a dog, they also think of that. They also remember that. They also feed into any negative energy. Because let's be honest, people love negativity. People love to gossip. People love to talk about anything and everything that they can find on someone. So why tarnish your brand in that way? Because of a man. Because of a man's actions, now that has a ripple effect on you. So I say this with love, my ebonies. I say this because I know that a lot of Black women are able and capable to reach such great heights. And sometimes a man will slow that down. They can never stop that. If you can get back on track, it will never be stopped. You can only get back on track and then get better. But if you don't recognize it, you will carry on repeating the cycle. You will carry on repeating the trauma that you did before, the behaviors that came from that trauma. You will carry on repeating those. You will carry on the cycle. And at some point, you have to look at yourselves and say to yourself, no, I refuse to carry on that type of cycle. And because I refuse to become pregnant by someone who is a walking red flag, I will protect myself. I will armor up. And armoring up means contraception, abstinence, means not giving your time and your energy to those type of toxic relationships. If you haven't listened to my previous video on toxic relationships and how they can drain your energy, please, ladies, please listen to that video because that's where I talk about it a bit more in terms of toxic relationships and even friendships. But in terms of being with someone where potentially you are now baby trapped, I want better for Black women. And I know that Black women can do so much better because I've met multiple Black women who, like I said before, are successful in their own rights. And if you can be so successful in your own rights when it comes to everything else but relationships, then that means that it's time to look at yourself. It's time to take accountability. It's time to get back on track because, like I said, nothing can really stop your shine. It's just about you focusing and realizing and taking accountability of where things went wrong and get back on track and start to make intentional decisions. Don't make decisions based on actions that you were so blasé about, i.e., having unprotected sex. That can be a blasé situation that turns into a lifelong situation with someone who, after a year or two, you probably don't even want to be around. You don't want your name attached to them. You get so embarrassed by certain things that you're hearing about them when potentially you could just keep it pushing, keep it moving, and meet someone who is actually meant for you, that's going to align with where you are mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. But to get to that point, you have to do that inner work. You have to take a look at yourself and take accountability. If you know that you don't want someone like a Stephon Diggs who is going to be here, there, and everywhere with multiple women, with multiple children, then you have to take accountability to say, actually, I have the power. I hold the power and I am not going to accept that, and be able to just walk away, be able to stop that situation. You don't even owe the person an explanation if they've treated you badly. Just keep it pushing, keep it moving, keep moving forward. Don't let a man like him get you in a situation where you've now become pregnant and now you, to some degree, rely on him, because that's what it is. Now you rely on him. You've given away a lot of your power to him. Yes, someone like Cardi B, she's rich. I know people are like, oh, yes, she's rich. She's got money. She can afford nannies. She's got family around her. That's fine. She has, and that is true. But that doesn't take away the fact that she still has 3 children with one man who she's not even divorced from. And now another on the way with a man who is a walking red flag. And I don't take red flags lightly. Ladies, ebonies, you are better than a red flag. We want green flags around here. Do not take red flags as a joke, because red flags can come into your life. They can drain your energy and they can literally change the trajectory of your life. And yes, you will get back on track, because I always believe that nothing and no one can stop your shine. And that is an affirmation I say to myself. But at the same time, if you can prevent it, if you can avoid it, why put yourself through that? So let's do better, ladies. Let's avoid the baby trap. Let's avoid giving ourselves intimately to men who we can see clear as day that they are not the one, that they are not good for us, that they are a walking red flag. And if you find it difficult, because I know that is easy to say in a video, but some people really don't really know how to identify red flags in men. If that is you, then I would urge you to check the description box below, because I do have something for you that is really going to make you see word for word, clear as day, what I mean when I'm talking about a man who is a walking red flag. So make sure you check that below. And if you just need any advice, any guidance, hit me up in my email. I'm always here. I want to uplift my ebonies. I want to uplift women, because I know the potential, especially Black women, that we have. We are so successful individually that imagine when you meet your match in a positive way, how much of a power couple you can be, how successful you can be when you connect with someone who is aligned with where you are at and where you actually want to go. So that's it for today, ladies. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, subscribe to my channel, because I want to put out so much more videos about these type of topics. I want to be that voice where ladies can come to, and really we can heal those wounds, and I can help lift you up. I can help motivate you and push you in the right direction, because we deserve a soft life too. No more hard life, no more red flags. We deserve luxury. We deserve soft life. And I'll see you in another video.